about my Moontime update. As most of you know, I decided that I was going to embark on the journey of wearing cloth pads. And I'll tell you why. One reason is because there are certain things that just didn't sit well with me anymore. About at the beginning of my cycle, and obviously it didn't stay because it's Instagram. So now I'm on YouTube, and we'll be able to revisit this so other women can get this information as well, and men too, because it's also important for you to know this as well, because the blood of your mother runs through your veins, and of her mother and of her mother. So for this moon cycle, I decided to wear cloth pads. This has been something I have always been interested in, but at the time I was just not in the state of mind to accept and welcome in the type of energy it brings to wear a cloth pad. Some people will say that they're messy, but they're not really any more messy than a regular pad, or wearing a tampon, or wearing a diva cup, or whatever, or wearing a sponge, whatever it is that you do. The thing that is special about cloth pads to me is that you are not throwing away your blood. This is important on so many levels. I just couldn't sit with the feeling anymore of throwing away my blood. It's blood, like it's a life force. It's something that's leaving your body, not through harm, not through, somebody cutting you or you harming yourself, but because it's natural. Hello. I see that someone's in this room, but on this tablet, I can't really see who's in here. So grand rising to you. Thanks for joining. So I just couldn't handle the thought of throwing my blood away anymore. This blood is coming from my womb. If I were to be conceiving and having a child, this would. Oh, hey, now I can see you. Hey, Iris. Thanks for stopping by. How are you? Grand rising to you. When I was wearing regular store-bought pads, disposable pads, I always felt weird about it because I felt like I was smuggling bodies. You know what I mean? Like it's this is blood is coming from your womb. This will be the blood that you will be nourishing your unborn child with, were you to conceive. So this blood is powerful and it's sacred. It's nutrient dense, nutrient rich. And so I was just like, I don't feel comfortable throwing my blood away anymore. It's something valuable. It's powerful. It's a life force. And it really made me think on a deeper level about the way we treat ourselves. Like this blood is an extension of who we are, not just physically, but it holds our emotions, and it holds our thoughts. It holds our dreams, our pains, our traumas, our goals, our aspirations. And I couldn't imagine how many pads I've worn and how many of them are somewhere in a dump. Who knows where they are? They're somewhere in a dump, in a place that is full of trash, full of garbage, full of disease, full of death and decay, when it's such a life-giving force. It's such a powerful electric and magnetic force in our lives. So the thought of me throwing it away was just not working anymore. I would look at myself rolling up this pad and trying to almost feeling embarrassed about having a cycle, or almost feeling ashamed to show my blood, or to see my blood, or to touch my blood. And I'm like, okay, well, why do I feel that way? So this cycle really gave me a new perspective on the way I treat my body. And also when it comes to honoring our ancestors, all the blood of your mother passes through your womb during your moon cycle. All the blood of your mother's mothers, all the mothers that came before you, we carry all of their blood. And this got me thinking back to, again, when we're talking about healing the bloodline and bringing honor to our ancestors, healing the women and the men in our family who have experienced these hard lives and these struggles, who never got to live out the dreams they wanted because their lives were cut short by, you know, disease, or, and by disease I mean of the mind, from people coming in and raping our women, killing our men, raping our men too, stealing our children, killing our children, all these terrible things that happen, that you know, we're always told to get over it and to let it go. It happened this long ago, but the truth is we can't let it go because we haven't processed it, we haven't grieved it, we haven't mourned it, and it's in our blood. It's in our blood. And because it's stuck in our blood, I believe women have such power here, because each month we shed the lining of our uterus. Each month we go through a cycle. Each month we're able to use all those emotions that are being cultivated during that moon time to release and to cleanse and to actually heal the blood the way we say we want to heal the blood. So I made my own cloth pads. I have some pictures posted on my Instagram somewhere, so you can see them. Like, the first pad didn't come out too well, but once I got the hang of it, I actually love wearing cloth pads. This was my first solid and consistent experience wearing cloth pads, and they're so much more comfortable. They're so much more breathable. Like, when you wear store-bought pads, they have that lining on the back of them, and it doesn't really allow the oxygen to flow the way your vagina needs it to flow in order for you to have a healthy cycle. And not to mention some of the other reasons I also decided I wanted to wear cloth pads. One, even when I buy the store-bought pads, if they're organic and cotton, like I said, they're still not as breathable as they could be. So the oxygen that needs to be getting to your reproductive system is also cut off, because, or more so stifled, because it's not breathing through this elastic. It's not breathing through this adhesive that's stuck to the back of it. It's no way that is porous. True, because you don't leak through the bottom of your pad. It can't come through there. So with the pads I made, only thing I'll say about the pads is that I would just make them, I would add a few more layers of the cotton on the inside. Other than that, they worked beautifully. Also, I noticed before I started wearing organic cotton pads, and by that I mean the store-bought kind, not the cloth pads, but just organic natural fiber pads, I also noticed a change in my cycle, a change in my mood during my cycle, because when you're wearing these pads, like by all these different name brands, they have so many chemicals in them. They have so much bleach in them. They have all of these absorbent what do you call it, extra absorbent layers of this different type of material, which they're all chemical rich. I didn't know that I was experiencing toxic shock syndrome on a mild level from wearing regular pads. And I couldn't figure it out. Like, when I would wear them, I always noticed that my scent changed. The scent of my vagina changed. It would smell crazy as hell to me. Like, it wasn't a natural smell to my body. It just smelled like chemicals, really, I guess. It kind of smelled like when you turn on city water and you can kind of smell the chlorine coming out of it. It kind of had that smell, but it also just had this other unnatural smell, and I could never figure out where it was coming from, why my body was experiencing these things. I also had really heavy clots. I had fibroids. I had cysts in my uterus, and I couldn't really figure out what was actually going on with my body. So because of that, it caused me to do some research. It made me want to learn more about the way my body worked. It made me want to learn more about my womb, about my reproductive health as a whole. Oh, Instagram is paused. So I'm going to continue. Oh, continue here. Goodness, my fingers are cold. It made me want to learn more about myself and my body. And so I did the research, I looked into it. And as I learned more about my reproductive health, I learned that the things that we put on our bodies and the things that we put in our bodies really do play a role in our wellness. They really do play a role in the level of health that we have. So making the transition from regular store-bought pads to organic pads really changed my life because the scent went away. Excuse me, the clots were less and less. I noticed that. Was even different. I noticed that when I was wearing those pads, the regular pads, the ones that were full of all, okay, the ones that were full of all the chemicals and all of the toxins and all of the processing, that my mood was a lot different when I was on my cycle as well. I was more irritable. I was less agreeable. We'll just put it like that. I was less agreeable. And that's because I was so tense because my cramps would be so bad. The clotting, and when you're passing, any woman that has to pass clots, that it makes your cycle much more painful, especially if you already experience heavy bleeding and heavy cramping. So this was something that really made a difference to me, and it really opened my eyes. But I wasn't ready to do the cloth pad thing. I tried Diva cups. I couldn't get with it. I'm just like, I might as well wear a pad, because I still had to wear a pad with my cup. I could, for the life of me, I could not get that mug to go in correctly. I tried different sizes. Hey, December. I can see y'all now. I had to start it over, girl. It was true. Grand rising to you. How are you today? Oh my goodness. Look. I'm trying to do both of these at one time. I'm gonna get a holder because I'm pressing all kind of buttons. Okay. So I was, I was surprised when I changed my pads. And so when I moved here, I just everything changed for me when I moved here. A lot of the ways that I was thinking about myself, even though I wasn't thinking about myself on a negative way, but just the expansion of myself, me growing, me wanting to connect more to my roots, me wanting to connect more to myself. It really gave me a clearer vision of what I want to do. I now have the space and the environment to live the way that I want to live, and to live the way that I've been dreaming of. So when it came to my moon cycle, this was the perfect opportunity for me to give back to nature and for me to honor my ancestors. So going back to that whole bit, good, getting my day started. How are you? I'm great. I'm glad you're good. I'm great. I'm cold. It's cold out here. I'm trying to keep my fingers under my legs because it's a pretty chilly day. It's like, I don't know. I don't even know what the degrees are today. Goodness, my hair will not stay on my face. So I'm great. Just staying toasty. So for my cycle, I was talking also about the cloth pads. Let me stay on topic here. The cloth pads serve as a catalyst for me to honor my ancestors in the way that I'm no longer throwing away my blood. I'm no longer, I used to have this thing, like when I was changing my pad, or when I did wear tampons, or when I did um use a Diva cup and all of those things, where I was like trying not to get the blood on my hand. Like, I still was kind of living with that stigma of blood being unclean, or blood being, some kind of just something to be discarded, something like that. And this time around, it really gave me a deeper connection, because as I was saying when I started this is your life force. The blood that you're shedding during your moon cycle will be the blood essentially that you will be feeding to your child as they're growing in your womb. So that really made me think about what I was doing, throwing it away. It doesn't belong in a dump. It doesn't need to be connecting with those kind of energies where there are all these nasty garbage and trash. Who knows what else is at these dumps. I don't want my energy to be connected to those type of environments anymore, because I don't connect my energy to those type of things in my waking life. So in my head, I was like, I got to do something else. I got to do something else. Story time. A while back, before I moved here, I'll probably say like maybe 5 or 6 cycles ago. I remember that I was daydreaming, or I dreamed it, that it was either me or a woman, one of the women in my family, in my bloodline, a wild, melanin rich, beautiful woman, wild hair, standing in the middle of nature in front of a stream, just nature all around, and she was singing and she was dancing, but she was on her cycle and she was naked. She didn't have no pads on or nothing. She was just allowing that blood to drip back down to the earth. And that was a powerful thing for me, because I'm like, these are the practices that our women used to keep. These are the things that our women used to do, because they had such a close connection with themselves, and they had such a deep connection with the earth, that they knew the power of their blood. They knew the power of their body. They knew the power of the earth, and that they were connected in a way that we are still connected. However, because we have adapted other practices and other rituals, and because we also live in environments that really aren't conducive to us doing those things, it's kind of, it made me, well, I won't speak for everybody, but it made me feel like I was detached from who I was. It made me feel like I was detached from my ancestry, from my bloodline, from my heritage, from my culture. So when I seen this vision, when I had this dream, it was just like a light went on in my head, and it made me so emotional, because I'm like, look how free, look how loving, look how respectful, to really understand yourself and respect yourself and give yourself that honor to dance. Like when we come on our cycle, for most of us, we don't celebrate that shit. When we first learn about our cycles as young girls, or whenever we began menstruating, it wasn't a celebration. And I know for me, it wasn't brought to me like a celebration. It was brought to me with the underlying fear of, oh, you're gonna have cramps, or it was not a positive experience. And I felt like this experience that I had was like me menstruating for the first time, because I celebrated it. I actually celebrated my cycle, and I was happy to receive it, and I was happy to experience it and feel it, because this is also healing the bloodline, healing the connection we have with our body, and healing the connection we have with our menstruation, our moon time, because it's a sacred time. All these different things happen when you're about to come on your moon cycle. Your emotions are more elevated, you're more sensitive, your intuition is heightened. And I'm like, that there's a reason for all of that. There's a reason why your emotions are running wild. There's a reason why you have all of these memories, especially the painful ones, the ones that make you want to cry. You're so, you're so emotional that you want to cry, or that you're angry, or that you're upset. And this goes back to all the stigmas that have been given to women on their cycles, when they're like, oh, you're being bitchy, or you're over emotional, or uh you're bitter, you're angry. And I'm like, hell yeah, hell fucking yeah, we are. And we have absolutely every right to be. And I said this before. Imagine what we experience on our cycles is not just from the present. It's not just from our present life. It's not just from the life we've led up till now. What we experience during our cycles is from what our mothers have lived. It's from what our grandmothers have lived. It's from what our great grandmothers and their mothers and their mothers have lived through. Imagine not being, sorry, it paused and I hit the laughs. Oh, it's okay. Imagine not being able to mourn. Imagine not being able to cry because you have to shut up because somebody wants you to do something. Hell yeah, we're angry because we haven't had a chance to. Our ancestors, our mothers, they didn't get a chance to heal. They didn't get a chance to live their dreams or live their lives because they had to become mothers as children. They had to become caretakers of so many other people because so many negative things were happening in their life. At a time when they were experiencing joy and happiness, they were ripped from their homes. They were ripped from their families. Their children were killed. Imagine not being able to mourn the death of your children. Imagine not being able to mourn the death of your sisters or your mothers or fathers or your husbands. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine not being able to express that because you had to suppress it and hold it in. So when we're fucking irritated and when we're sad and we're crying and we don't know where these emotions are coming from, it's because each time we have our moon cycle, we are being given an opportunity to release. We're being given an opportunity to really heal the bloodline. How can you do that if you're throwing it away? And and this is from my experience. I cannot do that anymore because I felt like, how can I honor my ancestors by throwing their blood into the garbage, into the fucking dump? Like, how can I truly honor them by not returning this blood to the earth? So this was my process for this cycle. I end up, there is probably I posted a picture of my blood, and some people might find that offensive. I don't give a fuck. Blood is a sacred tool. I had to learn a lot about myself during this time period because I had to ask myself, what was it about blood that made me not want to touch it? What made me feel like it was not something to touch? And this time I handled my blood. I soaked my cloth pads in cold water from the creek, and I also added some herbs and things in there for my own spiritual purposes. And I did this so I could connect more because I'm like, okay, I have to do something with this blood. Things that I learned, well, things that I know about the blood. For one, it's nutrient rich and nutrient dense. So it's essentially fertilizer. You can use your menstrual blood to water your plants in moderation. You know, if you have a diva cup, you can pour it directly in, but I would recommend diluting it so that it's not so, you know, it does have a smell, obviously. So you don't want it to be smelling like, you know, super irony, or like it does get the fishy smell or that metallic-y smell. So for this cycle, I chose a place on this property where I would honor my ancestor and honor my moon cycle by returning my blood to the earth, by allowing my pads to soak in some water, and water from the creek at that. So I'm empowering it with the natural, the nature that's around me. I allowed them to soak, and I actually touched my blood. Like, some people find that gross or they feel squeamish about it, but I'm like, what is there to be squeamish about? What is there to find disgusting about your life force, something that actually sustains you, something that will sustain your child? And so I took some time and I sat with this blood. I stared at it, you know, I gazed into it, and it just gave me this feeling. Like, it gave me this powerful ass feeling like, whoa, what you're doing is changing the whole narrative of your life. You're changing the whole molecular structure of your body by taking this moment, such a simple thing, such a small moment, and honoring your cycle. I'm breaking the stigma of not enjoying my cycle. When our cycles come, we're normally kind of dreading them because we dread the energy that comes with it. But that's because we don't respect it. We don't respect ourselves in the way that we should be because we lack knowledge and understanding about our cycle, about our past, about our ancestors, what they did with their blood. They returned it to the earth. When you use your cycle, your moon cycle blood in your garden or on your plants, especially if you're growing a herb garden, if you're growing a fruit tree, whatever it is, that tree tunes itself directly into you, directly into your spirit, into your blood. So when these plants grow, these fruits grow, they're exactly equipped with everything that you're lacking, everything that your body needs. They're prepared to offer it to you in a way that is unique to your body and your body alone. And to me, that is an amazing thing. And I'm like, we take so much from the earth. We take the air, we take the water, we take the food, we take the soil, we take the wood. Why not give something back just as powerful, something back that's just as nourishing, which is the blood? What else could you give back? Like, you give your body back, but that's when you done in this vessel, and we can't just be giving our bodies back. Otherwise, we won't be continuing to obviously live in this life. So returning that blood back to earth and back to nature really gives you an opportunity to see what you're made of. Like, literally everything that you're returning to the earth is everything that you're made of. Every nutrient that's in your blood, you can find it in every stone. You can find it in the sun. You can find it in the cosmos. You can find it in the trees. You can find it in the water. You can find it in the air. Shit, you can find it in damn near everything that is on this planet, that is natural on this planet. So it makes sense to me to return my blood to the earth. So I chose a spot and I said some words over it. I said some words of gratitude. I said some words of release. I let go of the trauma from my womb, and speaking it and allowing it to vibrate through my body. I can see how this process is carrying on, because there are a lot of things that I'm still cleansing, and there are a lot of things that I'm still removing, or that I see coming up that are resolving themselves. There are dreams. I've been having these dreams, these vivid dreams on my cycle, about letting go and releasing, and also about, my ancestors, the women in my family, sitting in these circles with these women. I can't remember the conversations we had, but I remember us talking together, not even speaking in this language, not even speaking in English, but I'm able to understand and respond to them in these dreams. Having these dreams and talking to them, sitting in these circles with them around a fire, being able to lay my head on their shoulder and feeling them, and feeling them caress me and tell me whatever the hell they're telling me. Like, these are powerful dreams to me, because I'm like, this is them saying thank you. This is them saying, hey, we see what you're doing and we honor it. We accept it. We are proud of you. We are happy, and we are so thankful that you are doing the things that we couldn't do. And to me, that's so empowering. And it's like, blood is so full of everything that we are. It's full of our memories. It's full of our dreams, our aspirations, our hopes. Just like it's full of our pains and our traumas, and all this other shit. Everything that we are is in our blood. So imagine what you could move in this lifetime, and what you can move in your world, what you can move around, what you can bring in, by simply honoring your cycle in a way, that is restorative, in a way that's not destructive, in a way that's not, toxic. Like I said, like, I just can't get over the fact that I used to throw my blood in the garbage. Like, it's just strange to me. It's just strange to me. I used to throw my blood in the garbage. And like I said, this cycle has been such a eye opener. I'm treating this like this is my first time menstruating. And like I said, I'm celebrating it. The act of me going to my designated place, on my land, is like a party. And rather than fighting all of those emotions that come up, because you have to imagine, like I was saying, those emotions, it's a reason why you feel more heavier thoughts during your cycle rather than more exciting ones. Like, you don't be like, oh, my cycle's coming, and start thinking about all of what. I can't even give no example right now, just for the simple fact that I can't give no example shows how much, when I come on my cycle, the things that are brought to the forefront are old memories, old pain. Sometimes it be memories that aren't even mine, but I can feel them. Emotions that are so deep, those moments where you just feel like you have to break down and cry, like you want to be angry and scream and yell. All of those emotions are being brought out of your body. And each month, you're being given an opportunity to let that shit go. You're being given an opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to deal with this. Hold on, let me read. You are definitely moving into a very very powerful place of growth. Thank you. And yes, like my mind is blown. Like my mind is always blown because it's just like never do we be wishing for things and we be praying for things, but when you get them, it's like you're still amazed because somewhere in the back of your mind, you still didn't think that you were worthy of it, or you still didn't think that you were capable of it. And to see that I can do these things, and to see that I can experience these things and also be able to share them with other people is humbling as hell. And it's amazing to me. And to be able to know that we are time travelers. We can travel back in time and heal shit that has been fucked up by honoring ourselves, because we are all of our people that have passed through us. And this is especially important for men because men like to treat themselves as if they are separate from a woman, or like they are above a woman or superior in some way. But it's like you came from a woman, and everything that a woman had inside of her, she gave to you. And so this is healing too. When your woman is honoring her cycle, she's honoring you. Especially if you guys have connected sexually, now your DNA is connected. Especially if you have children, now your blood is connected. Your cells are connected electrically and magnetically. And so as you heal yourself, you even cause healing around everyone in you. I spoke about this on, I can't remember if I did this yesterday or what. The day before yesterday, maybe. I don't know. I spoke about when you're healing yourself and you're healing your own blood, every woman that's connected to you is going to feel that shift in themselves, whether they are ready for it, whether they are acknowledging it or not. They're going to feel the shift. They're going to go through it. So their emotions are going to begin to change, because as you're clearing your blood and you're being focused and you're really putting your intentions on clearing the blood and doing just that, your whole molecular structure shifts. And every woman that you are connected to electrically and biomagnetically, their blood is shifting too now. And it goes like this, and it goes like this, and it goes like this. And you may notice that as you're changing, you start to be a little bit more people may start to distance themselves from you, especially the women in your family. You might notice that they become more distant, or they become more combative, or they become more I don't want to say clingy, because I don't believe that it's clinging. It is clinging in a sense, but I believe that it's more of feeling it, but not being able to articulate exactly what they're feeling. And you'll notice that you may be more they may be more aggressive towards you, because they see that light in you, and they see you moving. And whatever parts of them were connected to that part that you weren't honoring before, because they're not honoring themselves, they're trying to hold on to that because that's where they feel comfortable. And as they're raising their vibrations, because you're raising your vibrations, they're going to try everything they can to hold on to that. And they're going to go through it. This is the same with the men in your family, especially if you have a young child who is a male. You'll notice that as you change your life and as you grow, like I noticed in my son, as I change my life and as I honor myself more, he's becoming more calm. He's becoming more, he's still getting on my nerve, but he's still learning as well. But our relationship is improving. The way we communicate with each other is improving. So I see someone else in here, but I can't see who it is. Oh, Cindy, Grand Rising, how are you? So as you're changing, you'll notice that every person that you're connected to, especially if they're your blood, they're going to go through it as well. So this is why I feel like it's highly important to honor yourself during your cycle. No, I'm not saying that if you don't wear cloth pads and return your blood to the earth, that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. What I am saying is give yourself an opportunity to experience that for yourself. You don't have to wear cloth pads your entire cycle. You can buy one, or you can make one, because they're super easy as hell to make. All I did was take a regular pad that I brought from the store. I outlined it on some the fabric of my choosing. I cut that bitch out, and then I added the stuff inside. In the end, I sewed it together, and it took me a long time at first because I was it wasn't working, but I stayed at it because I felt like this had to be done. So once you do that, give it a shot. Just try it. You can use recycled fabrics that you already have. Give it a shot and try it. How are you this day, Cindy? Thanks for coming by. I'm gonna wave even though I said hello. Um, Give it a try. See the difference in your body. Okay, other things about the moon cycle I want to talk about. Our bodies are designed to be clothes free, to be naked essentially. And I'm learning that, like, I don't really like wearing clothes. So I wear a lot of loose fitting clothing. Like, I'll wear dresses or skirts. I have on sweatpants right now because it is a cold day. So I will wear, but they're loose fitting. Like, I don't like to wear super tight fitting clothes because I noticed the difference in when I was wearing things like jeans and, those tight ass jeggings. I do wear leggings sometimes, but I always make sure that the things that I'm fitting are breathable. Things that I'm wearing are breathable, or they fit me in a way that is not constricted to my body. This also helped me notice the change in my cycle because sometimes when we have these bad cramps, it's not because our body is impaired in any kind of way. It's because of the things that we're doing. Like, certain types of clothing cut off your circulation. They're not breathable. That's why I chose organic cotton to create my cloth pads out of, because I'm like, your vagina needs to breathe. It's porous. It's a mouth. It's a portal, and things go into it. Your vagina breathes, so it needs to have oxygen circulating through it. When we wear those tight pants, every part of our body is connected. Every part of our skin, from the surface to the inside, is connected to an organ, and it's connected to blood vessels, it's connected to nerves, it's connected to ligaments. And all of these things have blood moving through them because they're circulating through our body. They're helping keep our body alive. And if you're somebody if you have to sit at work all day, you have to make sure that you're doing something to keep that oxygen flowing. But if you're sitting at work all day and on top of that wearing clothes that are not breathable, wearing nylon or plastic like clothing, things that don't allow the body to sweat or allow the body to breathe, when it comes time for your cycle, there's a lack of oxygen flow to your reproductive system. And so because there's a lack of oxygen, you're going to feel those intense cramps because it needs to breathe. Basically, it's essentially suffocating. So as often as you can, be free. Wear a long flowing when you're home, and or when you're not. Shoot, I don't wear underwear. I just can't get with it. I used to wear underwear all the time. I like to wear all the cute lacy underwear and all of that. But I noticed the quality of my cycles. I noticed the quality of my body. I don't wear bras. And the only time I do wear bras, I wear this soft ass sports bra because it doesn't really constrict my body the way normal bras. And I got some big titties, okay? I have double D's. So, it's actually more stressful to your body wearing those bras because they're supposed to be supporting you, but they really not supporting shit. Because if they were, would your back be hurting while you wearing them? Let me read. Mara, I was overwhelmed with grief and anger yesterday. Monifa, in your last reading, reminded me that it's okay to let go and remove my sister from my space. Oh, it's a new day. I woke up with a forgiving heart and so much love for myself. Good. And we were just talking about that too. Because you are at a place in your life where you're changing, all the women around you are changing. And anything that they clung to you for before, it's no longer there. They have to become responsible and accountable for their own actions, for their own feelings, and for their own thoughts. Hey, Anna, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I too hate underclothing. I'm gonna make a shirt of it. My motto is fuck draws and fuck bras because they're so constricting. They don't allow you to breathe the way you need to breathe. And as I was saying, if the bra was supporting your breasts in the way that they said, why do your back hurt when you wearing the bra? Like, it hurts more. My back doesn't hurt when I don't wear a bra. That's something I learned. And Cindy, when 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 you're in a place where you are becoming more of yourself and becoming more of who you are, anybody that was attached to a frequency where you weren't honoring yourself because they, like I was saying before, they weren't honoring themselves, they gonna feel that shit. They're going to go through it. They're gonna feel like you're leaving them. They're gonna feel like you don't love them. They're going to feel like they're going to basically project how they feel about themselves onto you because you've been that person for so long. You've been the projector. I mean, not the projector. You've been the projecting board. You've been the punching bag. You've been the go-to. You've been the heal all person. And when you decide to take time for yourself to heal yourself, they're going to be essentially offended. And if my saying is, if you offended, then you're the offender. That's why you're offended, because you're offending. And if you're offended, then you're not listening to what's really being said, and you're not really listening to what is being shown to you and what's being taught to you through that moment. And so I'm happy that you're putting yourself first, and I'm happy that you're putting yourself in a place that you're honoring you and you alone without worrying about how other people are going to feel about it, and without worrying about trying to make sure people's emotions are okay, because you're dealing with yourself, because you're going through things yourself. Would these same people be here? Are those same people there when you need them, when you're experiencing certain things, when you're having a hard time? Or does the conversation become about them? Does the conversation start off with you telling them how you feel, and then they end up telling you the whole same ass story that they done told you 17 times, because they're only in a place to serve themselves? And if that's the case, then I don't give a fuck if you mad. I don't give a fuck if you sad. Be sad over there, because I need love too. I need healing too. I need to have somebody to talk to as well. I need to have somebody to vent to as well. And if people aren't able to reciprocate that energy, then why would you continue to put yourself in a place where you're essentially draining yourself? So I'm happy that you're moving into that space. Let me go up and read. You'll buy one? Okay, I'm for real gonna make them in due time. Something similar, friend. Mind your energy and let them handle theirs. Exactly. And if they don't want to handle it, well, this is a testament to why their life is the way it is. Plain and simple. Because people put off on you what they don't want to do for themselves, but expect to have the results that you have because they see you working. Like, no, I'm not going to work on you and me. Like, I can't do both at the same time. So, and I can't work on you because I'm not you. Yes, that's exactly what she told me. You don't have any time to listen to me anymore. Like, okay, do you listen to yourself though? Talk to yourself before you talk to me. And this is something that I've been doing. If I have an issue, it's not, I don't feel like it's anything wrong with venting or sharing your story. I'm not gonna complain to you though. And I feel like before I say something to somebody, I'll be like, I have that same conversation with myself before I say something to somebody else. And 9 times out of 10, I get the same exact answer that I will get from the person that I'm sharing with, that I got from myself. It's just that confirmation and that comfort of knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but also that you're not alone. And people, like, look how many of us are experiencing the same things right now. And look how much wisdom we have to offer each other, and how much medicine we have to offer each other through that. Let me read. I like to see this, as you said, like a cup you keep pouring from. This is soon to be empty. Fill your well. Fill it so full that it then spills forth into the lives of those you cherish. Indeed. True seed. That's my saying now. True seed, honey. There's my shirt. Mind your energy and out my mind. Yeah, we need to have a plethora of these shirts just out here, because People need to get that message. Put that oxygen mask on your face first, so you have the strength and stamina to help others. Exactly. You have to be able to help yourself before you can really help somebody else. And this is the craziest thing. And this all ties into with what I've been talking about, because this is also about honoring the bloodline. It is also about honoring your ancestors, because how many of our ancestors, all of us in here, have had to care for somebody else before we could care for ourselves? How many of our ancestors have had to put aside their life, put aside their dreams, put aside their hopes, put aside their pain? Like, people literally put aside their pain to deal with somebody else's pain, to help somebody through their own shit. But then at the end of the day, we're too tired to focus on our own shit. We're too tired to heal our own pains and our own traumas. And no more, like, no more. You got to be able to heal yourself. You got to be able to feel yourself to heal yourself. You got to be able to feel yourself to understand the things and the energy and the information that you're receiving from your environment, and also that you're receiving from those within your environment, those that you interact with on a regular basis. Because feeling is discerning, and if you're discerning, then you know where you're gonna focus your energy and attention. You know where you're gonna focus your time. You know where you're gonna focus your efforts. And I always tell people, I'm never, ever, ever gonna do more work for you than you willing to do for yourself. If you're not going to do the work, why are we talking about it? If you're not going to change, if you're not going to take your own advice, why are we talking about it? I'm not going to listen to you tell me the same story 15 times. I'm not going to listen to you cry about the same dude that you keep getting back with 15 times, even though you know that the same dude gonna keep doing the same shit because he done it 15 times. I'm not gonna keep going over the same things with you, especially when you're only going over them for the sake of hearing yourself speak, for the sake of hearing yourself talk. And I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not going to help yourself be miserable. I'm not going to help you entertain self-pity. I'm not going to help you entertain wallowing in your self-pity, because I'm essentially here to help you, because I'm helping myself. So these are all things that we have to learn for ourselves. And this cycle, this moon cycle, has brought all of that into perspective for me. And it has brought all of that into, you know, like a power orb that can be sent out at will, because I'm learning more of who I am. Let me read. Yes, I recently received. Goddamn. Yes, I have been recently been receiving the calling. This is our mission currently. We are here to transmute past life, family, lineage, karmic lessons. Exactly. Get on the shirt, December, please and thank you. Yes, please and thank you. Yes, S.A. Julie. Like Ayana says, what's in my cup is mine, and what overflows is what I can give to others. Otherwise, I make those I give to. Oh, are there for the taking from me what I couldn't give? Exactly. I'm working on the print for the shop today, 5x7. Hey, that's gonna be dope. I figured it out. I'm pressing buttons. Tap. Exactly. Exactly. And y'all get it. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Because look at us. Look at how much we're moving. Look at all this energy that we're moving out of our life. And look at all this energy that the universe is bringing into us. All the abundance that we're cultivating, because we're standing in our truth. We're standing in our power. And it's not always going to feel good. It's not always going to feel pleasant or desirable. Also, the victim. I'm so over it. Exactly. Like, there are no victims here. The only victims in this world are children, because children, to a certain degree, have some learning to do. But as grown ass women, as grown ass men, ain't nobody no victim, because everybody knows what everybody know. Y'all know how I feel about that. You absolutely know every single thing you need to know about a person before you get with them, about a job before you take it, about a food before you eat it. You know that shit. You may not have the intricate details to break it down, but spirit, you have been instilled with spirit and intuition and discernment for those very reasons. Because though we may have to learn about some things, just because you got to learn about it don't mean that you don't already know about it. And your spirit expresses it to you through your emotions, through your environment, and through your thoughts, and through the way that you feel. So I'm not allowing excuses from nobody this year. I'm not allowing excuses from nothing. Don't tell me that you do something because of this. Because if you say, "Oh, well, I act like this because of blah blah blah," that means you know what the hell your problem is, and you know exactly what you need to do to fix it, and you are not allowing yourself to grow. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I'm not gonna do it with you because I'm on some other shit. I'm becoming who I need to be and who I want to be, and I'm glad that those two things actually align with one another. Because sometimes we want to be somebody, but that's not who we're meant to be. And now I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, growing into exactly who I want to be and who I'm meant to be. And it's amazing. And I'm grateful for that. Okay. No, because this growth and transition has been painful as some painful as fuck at some points. Hell yes. We are not promised a comfortable journey. We are only promised this: if we embrace it, we will grow from it. Yes, is what I mean. Exactly. And exactly. Feel free to share y'all names so y'all can call each other by name if you like. And you are exactly right, Anna, because is anything that we have that's actually powerful and worth something, was it ever easy? If many of us in here have children, it was not easy having no child. You had to carry a whole body in your body for 9 months. That shit was difficult as hell. Not to mention if you had morning sickness, if you had uh you know sciatica pain, if your back was hurting, but it was all worth it in the end. You wouldn't change a thing because you got some beautiful ass children out of the process. You got some more teachers. When you have to work out, I always use this: when you have to work out, it don't feel good while you working out. Don't nobody be like, "Ooh, this feels great." They be like, ah, woo, woo. They be sore for like 3 days after that, like, uh. But when that 3 weeks is up and you look at your body, you be like, "Oh, baby, look at that, look at that, look at that ass." You know what I'm saying? You be happy but you had to work for it. It was uncomfortable as fuck. When you're detoxing, it don't feel good to detox. You have to go to the bathroom all the damn time, especially if you try to do some detoxing at the night. That means you got to wake up 17 goddamn times because you got to shit, you got to go to the bathroom, or you got to throw up, or whatever it is you're doing during that detox. But at the end of it, your body's like, I feel so good. And you feel better. You're more mentally clear. You're more emotionally stable. You're more physically fit. But all of these things require work. They require you to be uncomfortable. They require you to step outside of your comfort zone. They require you to be vulnerable. How many times have you peed on yourself when you was pregnant and been like, what can you do? Hey, my bad. How many times have you sneezed? You know what I'm saying? And damn near shit on yourself. Being pregnant ain't it's not no simple task. It's full of its challenges. How many times have whatever, like when you were detoxing, you probably had some odor that you couldn't explain, like, where the hell is this odor coming from? Like, oh my goodness. And it was probably embarrassing, but what could you do? You know what I'm saying? It's just the nature of things. And I'm finding that most things that are worth having and most things that are worth building are going to be uncomfortable. Let me go back up. Let me read. The woman I wanted to be is fly as fuck, and I so healed to stand in her case. December. Okay. Right. And then they grow up and get their own minds, right? What can you do? I am dealing with this having a 17 and a half year old. I just gotta surrender. No other choice. Because I mean, we instill into our children what we can, but ultimately they are their own individual. They're their own person, so they're gonna make their own choices. Mario, greetings to you, Grand Rising. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I have 4 teachers, and each teach me something new and wonderful. And this is the beautiful thing about everything that we're doing. Not just when it comes to the moon cycle and honoring that cycle, but honoring these moments in your life. All of these moments are healing the bloodline. All of these moments are changing the way our genetic structure is. All of these moments are helping to empower our children because they see us. They may not acknowledge that, kids are in their own world. They see us though. They feel us, and more than anything, because we're changing and we're directly linked to them electrically, magnetically, they feel it too, and they experience it too. And you can see the change in your child. Anybody in here, all y'all can see the change in your child as you guys are beginning to change yourself. And it's, of course, it's a lot of things that we wish we could do to stop our children from making certain choices, but we know that these are part of their learning process because, one, we don't know what their journey is here. We don't know what they're supposed to grow into. We're just supposed to be here as a guide to get them to a certain point so that they can begin to do those things for themselves. The same way we're finding ourselves now as adults, as grown ass women, they're just starting that journey. They've been on that same journey too. Let me read. Speaking of detox, I would like to do one to remove all the negative and overwhelming emotions. Hold on, I'm gonna pin your question. Pin. Pin. Oh man. Oh Lord. Oh, Instagram, you're such a hater. Okay, so let me go back on here because Instagram just did me so dirty again, y'all. Thank you, YouTube, for holding on. Y'all, Instagram be hating. Instagram be hating on a motherfucker. Now I gotta re-add y'all. Welcome back, Marielle. Welcome back, Anna. Cindy, welcome back. Instagram be hating, bruh. And I have all the bars right now, so y'all know. It happened like 3 times. It's like my 3rd time doing this. Welcome back, December. So, okay. That's true, December. I don't even know what the last... Okay. Yes, December said... And Cindy, can you retype your question so I can pin it? December, the last thing she said was, your children see the real you. And this is so true. This is one of the truest things because your kids don't care about how you look. They don't care where you work. They don't care what you do. They care about you. Children are the most loyal creatures. Even though they might tell your business all the time, they are the most loyal creatures in the world because they love you, truly love you unconditionally. And this was something I learned when I became a mother, how raw they see you, and children are so loving that you can be mad at them and you might snap out at your children sometime, but they don't change. It doesn't change in the way that they love you. It doesn't change in the way that they see you or that they care for you. Like, they look up to you so hard. And even when they're going through their own process and they're, bumping their heads and they're learning on their journey, and even when you're not seeing eye to eye, they love you so much. Your children would do anything for you. And I feel like that's a beautiful part of this process too, and also a beautiful part of being a mother, because you get to spend such intimate time with them. Like, you have every egg in your body that you gonna have. Wait, did you post it? Okay. I also do detoxes as well. and detox regimens and plans. So if you want to find something that's fine-tuned and specifically tailored to meet your needs, just holler at me. However, hold on, let me read now. Let me read. When this moon cycle's over, I'll be doing that. A for moon cycles. The uninhibited you, minus the BS. They can read you and see you from the inside out, especially if they have the gifts of sight or are empathic. Thanks, Marina. I'm looking for a detox for the heart. I bought the herbs already. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, please keep us updated on your detox too, because I love hearing about people's journeys. I'm going to be doing a detox as well. Did you see the photo I posted the other day where talking about how we were even inside? Exactly. Like, how powerful is that? We even men don't know this, but they think that this sperm here is some magical thing, and it is a magical. However, it's not in the way that they've been taught to see it. These are also the eggs of your mother. These are also the eggs here, and before your balls drop, they was your ovaries. But we'll save that for another day, because our mothers had all their eggs while in their mothers. I was so upset yesterday. I went into a phase. Oh no! I love doing open heart yoga exercises to heal. See, and that was universe reminding you of how allowing those energies that come into your life, it's showing you exactly what it does to your body. It constricts the vessels. It causes an imbalance in your body. And it's really not an imbalance, because the act of your body doing that is your body actually trying to protect you from what's happening. So, thank your body for that, because, we can see how these energies, when we are trying to hold on to them because they are affecting us a certain way, we can see how they really affect our bodies. I did yoga last night and this morning. I found the child pose with my arms behind my arm very comforting. Wow. And I'm glad that you are well today. That's crazy. And Anna, we were saying about the eggs in the body. Like, your mother, excuse my snatch off. Your mother knows every single thing about you, because you've been inside of her, and as you said, inside of your grandmother. We've been passed. These eggs have been passed and passed and passed and passed, and so it's like, it's such an intimate experience, because everything about your child before they're even born, from the way the pregnancy goes, from the way the labor goes, from the way the birthing process goes, and everything after that, everything about your child. It's just a matter of making that connection, because we always have our expectations. And I say fuck expectations, because we got to deal with reality and what's in front of us. And sometimes we have to look inside of the things that are in front of us without bias or without hope, without, the expectations, obviously. And, oh, yes. Hold on. Let me read. Yes, powerful too. I've been doing yoga with Adrian 30 day yoga challenge called Kate. Maybe it's a throat chakra situation. Yes, stupid mad. And that's when I knew it's time to remove myself from this loved one. I was like, defecate, I don't know. Dedicate. This thing was that on YouTube. Yes, I think. Indeed. Share that link with everyone too, because we probably can all, not probably, we could all benefit from it. Detoxing the heart, detoxing the throat, they the same thing, really. You can't do one without the other. So do also keep me updated with your detoxification process, Cindy, because I want to know. Like, I want to know y'all stories. I want to know y'all journeys. I'm learning from y'all at the same damn time. So it's powerful here that we have this platform that we can all share with one another and that we can all heal with one another. Like that's the most amazing thing to me, being able to heal with other women, people that you ain't know, you know what I'm saying, people we've never, well, y'all probably, some of y'all have probably met each other in person, but I haven't met any of you in person, but I still feel very connected to you guys, and I still feel like if I had to share something personal, that I will be able to trust you with my feelings and in my emotions. And I feel like the advice that you give, which you often do give, even though I'm not always sharing super personal things, it's always coming from the heart, because it's always filled with good intentions. And shit, who doesn't want that in their life? I brought my headphones today, so I look forward to looking at your video. Hey, for the headphones. And I need to get I like that earpiece that you wear. I need to get some of those because I don't always want to hold this phone, which I'm not holding it now because my hands are freezy. But also sometimes when I'm holding the phone, I be like moving around so much, or it's windy or something like that. Okay, let me read. Yes, I am so profoundly joyed for this platform and the connections and the growth it has led to. Monifa has me drinking celery juice every morning. I love it. Celery juice is so good. And like, this is so exciting. It is shared. Hold on. Pin. Don't play me again. Oh my goodness, it's about to play me again. So look at this. Can y'all still hear me? Nope. Okay. This is my last time. This is my last time going back on Instagram for the day. Because if it does not continue, then you know. I'm gonna just let it go and continue on here. I've been on here for a whole hour and 7 minutes. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna throw this thing over the roof. Hey, don't be hater. Okay, for the 700th time. Here we are. I clearly cannot pin shit because if I'm trying to pin, it's just like, fuck you, man. So welcome back, y'all, for the last time. I'm gonna wrap this up too because I already been out here for for an hour. So Instagram is having some technical difficulties today. I don't know what they on. So like, this is like literally the 5th time. Welcome back, Anna. Like, Instagram is on that straight bull. So Instagram, stop it, stop. And my nephew will say, stop. So I'm gonna bring this to a close. I have enjoyed this conversation. So basically, all of the things that we've discussed, all of them bring me back to my main point when I came on here, which was healing the bloodline, honoring your moon time, honoring your moon cycle. So if you didn't catch the beginning, it is uninterrupted on YouTube. I'm recording on YouTube as well. So because I feel like these are important conversations that we have, and they'll stay on here forever rather than disappearing after 24 hours. So if you want to catch the whole uninterrupted version of this video, then you can go on my YouTube. And thanks to Monifa, I have created a Linktree that will link you directly to the YouTube channel and many other aspects of True Seed Temple and Women's Village. So, honoring yourself. This cycle has been so eye-opening for me because it has allowed me to connect to myself in a way that I haven't before. It's allowed me to connect to my ancestors, in a way that I was afraid to do because I was afraid of people's thoughts. I was afraid of my own thoughts. And it has shown me such power. There is so much power in being a woman, and there's so much power in menstruating. There's so much power in being in menopause. There's so much power in the cycles of the moon, of the woman. Like, in your blood, in your menstrual blood, it's not just moon energy, it's also sun energy, because you have the energy of vitality. The sun is vitality, it's nourishment, it's it's vibrant, it's electric, it's life-giving, just like the blood from your womb. I'm gonna check these out as well. And then you have the energy of the moon, which pulls things out of you. So the sun is putting things into you, and the moon is pulling things out of you. That's why the tide pulls in to the land as the moon grows, and as it pulls away as the moon wanes. And you too are being pulled. That's why emotions are being pulled from your body. Emotions are being pulled from all the parts of your body. So wherever you're feeling it, from that heart energy, from that sacral or that reproductive energy, from that root energy, everything is being pulled up so that you can address it, assess it, and let it go, or you can transform it into something that will empower you further on your journey. So I'm going to end this live for officially, not Instagram version of end live. And I thank you guys for coming. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for sharing with me. If y'all have any questions about anything, you can always DM me. Cindy, if you'd like to talk about some detoxing as well, I'd love to share some input with you. You know, I'd love to help you out as well. So anybody, anywhere. I love y'all. I love myself. Stay warm and toasty and have a great day. Bye. Thank you. Listen, I be feeling crazy as hell trying to end this on this tablet. End. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye as well, YouTube.